Hey, it's Rich Tehrani with TMCnet. Thanks so much for watching. We are doing our famous Editors Week out here in Silicon Valley, California. And on our program is Chip Wilcox, and he's with Temasys. And I should mention it's November 2016 for those of you keeping track. And Chip, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thanks very much, Rich. I'm doing well.
Good. So for those people who aren't familiar with you, I mean, I know you guys as a big real-time communications player, a major player in that space. Tell us a little bit more about what you guys do.
Okay, so Temasys is originally from Singapore. We've now got an office here in the U.S., which is one of the reasons why I'm here this week. We are all about embedded real-time communication and being able to embed real-time audio, video, chat and data in any application on any device at any scale.
So basically the idea is the same concept as a Skype call, the same concept as a FaceTime call, something like that, but taking that same core technology, making it business class, making it multi-person, person-to-person, Brady Bunch conferencing, or whatever you want to call it, and then embedding that in different solutions.
Correct. I think one of the big differentiators for us is Skype is great, but it's a standalone application. So what's happening today is, as part of this digital transformation of businesses, more and more businesses are actually building software for themselves, and they're focused on building apps. And in order to engage their customers, really, they're looking for ways to increase the stickiness and the usability of the services. One of the best ways to do that is to make it possible for their customers to communicate with that business or with each other in a community right there within the context of that application. So Temasys is really focused on building really nice, simple APIs for web and mobile that allow developers of these applications to very quickly embed real-time communications features in those apps. So while Skype is a standalone tool, and I still use it on occasion, there are lots and lots of businesses out there now that are building applications where they just want to bring communication into the workflow or into the experience that the user has and make it simpler to do that. And that's really what Temasys is all about.
Also via the browser, so you don't need an application.
Absolutely.
You can just do it right within the browser, so it could be a cloud app or...
Right, and that's where the underlying technology, which is WebRTC, really came in. The whole point of that was to make it possible for people to communicate one browser to another browser with no downloads, no plugins. That's still not completely possible, but... Because
not every browser...
Right. There's Microsoft and Apple, which are still playing difficult with everyone else, and they're slowly going to get it. I'm assuming that those browsers will support, and Microsoft's newest browser, Edge, is starting to make progress in that area. But really the point is, it doesn't matter what the device is, whether it's a desktop web browser or an Android phone or an iOS device. People are learning and really craving the idea that they want to be able to bring these features into their applications. And it really is about increasing customer engagement, increasing the effectiveness of the tools that you're deploying to interact with your customers.
So we're talking in theoretical terms here. Let's, with your permission, I'd like you to just hit some specific markets where your company has helped, so that if the viewers out there are in a certain market, they'll be like, oh, I run a hospital, I do this, I do. So tell us some.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think one of the big questions we had a couple of years ago when I started working in the space was which verticals are going to get it first? And where are we going to make the most impact the soonest? Every company's worried about getting to revenue if you're a startup or that kind of thing. And for us, it was, we could see 5 or 6 verticals where there was an opportunity, but the ones that really got it, I would say telehealth, telemedicine is a great example. We see easily 8 to 10 new customers a month that come in. And they're not all doing the same thing. They're all building different kinds of applications. But they're in the healthcare space. And I think telehealth is a huge vertical.
What else?
I think education is another example.
Okay, that makes sense.
E-learning, distance learning programs, whether you're doing language tuition or whatever. Then there's obviously there's different ways of building collaboration applications. And then the last big one really is sort of extending the contact center omni-channel so that instead of just having a chat box on a website or something that you push to chat with a rep when you're browsing a site, you can escalate that very easily to audio or video if you want to, or co-browsing if you want to do that, with one single technology. And with us, it's with one single SDK per device type or platform.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
it's awesome.
anything new coming out in your company or has come out?
Well, we've added a lot of additional functionality in the last 6 to 8 months. We now have full-on recording and archiving capability for people that want to retain the record of the interactions.
Sure.
We're now looking at extending our SDKs to Linux operating systems.
Okay.
And kind of also really looking at where real-time communications can interlock with like IoT. So, there's certain types of transactions and certain types of exchanges of information where you need a different kind of stack for Internet of Things, micro mesh networks and that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of places where there's a link where adding real-time communications actually makes sense. And that's certainly an area that we're looking into now. And that's aside from growing our business, because it seems like the market's finally arrived and people are finally starting to get the story that you can now embed communication everywhere. Those are the big things that are coming up.
What else should we know?
We're growing our team here in the U.S. specifically. We just laid roots down in Palo Alto. And I'd say that if I thought this was a great business to be in a couple of years ago, I would say it is the business to be in today.
That's
for
great.
us. Yeah.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.